I think that most people would agree that 2024 has been a pretty great year for LEGO Castle. We started off the year really strong with Basil the Batlord and the Medieval Town Square, and we will most likely be ending the year with the rumored Dungeons & Dragons collectible minifigure series. But what's coming after 2024 is over? Well, no one really knows, so today we're going to be speculating about the 3 potential avenues that LEGO could take with the castle theme into 2025 and beyond. Starting up first, let's talk about the most likely thing that I could see happening. Every year since 2022, LEGO has released at least one remake of a classic castle set. With the Forest Hideout and Lion Knight's Castle in 2022, Magisto's Magical Workshop in 2023, and of course, the Medieval Town Square in 2024. We've also gotten 7 factions brought back in that time frame, so that only leaves them a couple more classic era factions left to remake, those being the Black Knights and the Bull Knights. There is of course a couple of other Lion factions out there from the classic era, but I highly doubt LEGO would bring back any of them considering they are a lot less popular than the classic Crusaders that we already have. So which faction will LEGO do next? I did a poll on my community tab asking all of you if you'd rather see the Bull Knights or the Black Knights, and it looks like most of you said that you would want to see the Black Knights return, which to be honest with you isn't that surprising as the Black Knights had some absolutely killer sets in their day that I think still hold up pretty well. But their minifigures leave a lot to be desired, so that makes them a perfect candidate for a modern refresh. The only problem is, LEGO just remade the Dragon Masters and they use the same aesthetics as the Black Knights, even down to stealing their shield design straight from them. This obviously doesn't completely rule out the possibility of us getting a modern Black Knight set, but it does throw into question if LEGO would just reuse that torso that they already made. Now the Bull Knights on the other hand are kind of the polar opposite of the Black Knights. What I mean is that while the Bull Knights had some really good minifigures for their time, the sets themselves were pretty lackluster and they suffered from some of that 90s jankiness that was common during this period of LEGO's history. Don't get me wrong, the Bull Knights builds had some really unique ideas, but they just didn't look too good. So getting some remakes of their sets with the modern building techniques of today would be really nice to see. So what sets from these 2 factions do I think LEGO would consider remaking in 2025? First, the Black Knights. Since LEGO has been on a ruthless campaign of releasing big and expensive sets, I think the obvious choice for them would either be the Black Knight's Castle or the Black Monarch's Castle. Both of these sets are fan favorites, and I think they would translate really nicely into the modern style. Both of the castles also came with a bunch of minifigures, and the black color of the castle would stand out next to the Lion Knight's Castle on shelves. I personally would like to see them do the Black Knight's Castle, but the amount of bricks that it would take just to build the raised base plate would eat up so much of the part count and the price, so maybe not, I don't know. Now the only other set that I could see them doing for the Black Knights has to be the Sea Serpent. I think this was pretty obvious. It's about the right size for them to do it as a gift with purchase, and if I had to bet money on it, this is the set I think we're going to be getting in 2025. LEGO is clearly making a killing off of the gift with purchases lately, and as much as I hate them, I would be one of those fools spending $250 just to get the set. In an ideal world, they would release this as a regular retail one, but we all know that's not happening. Now for the Bull Knights, there's really only one set that I think they even could remake, that being the Bull Knights Attack set. It was basically a siege weapon battle pack for those unfamiliar, and it had some very unique designs and fun play features. Again, it does look a little weird because of the era it's from, but I think it would look incredible in the modern style. And we haven't really gotten any siege weapons to my knowledge ever since LEGO Castle came back, so really this would be the perfect set to do it with. I'm probably a little biased though, as the Bull Knights are in my opinion one of the most underrated LEGO Castle factions ever made. Another thing that I'd like to mention here is that the Bull Knights never got a full castle to call home, so if LEGO was to make a brand new castle design, I wouldn't be too mad if it was made for the Bull Knights. Now, as I'm sure you've noticed, I've glossed over all of the other factions that we've already had remade, like the Wolf Pack and the Fright Knights, but those could absolutely get their own set remakes themselves. I think the most likely would be a remake of the Wolf Pack Tower that would make for a great sub $100 set. Okay, so now that we've talked about some of the remakes that LEGO could do, I'd like to now talk about what a potential new theme from LEGO could look like. So out of nowhere, LEGO dropped a couple of new faction designs in the prize machine vote. Those being the Griffin Knights and the incredibly popular Kraken Knights. These both have some very unique designs for LEGO Castle, and it got a lot of people excited for what is basically just a single minifigure in a LEGO Ideas set. And can you really blame people? The last time we got a new faction from LEGO Castle was over 10 years ago at this point. I'm sure LEGO is aware of how riled up people got over this vote, and I can't help but wonder if the excitement over it has made them consider a full theme of castle sets. Now again, let me make myself perfectly clear, this is all speculation on my part. But the fact that they gave us 2 new faction designs in this vote really reminds me of how the older castle themes had 2 opposing factions in them. And I can't help but think about how cool it would be to get a seafaring Kraken faction and a classic Knights in Shining Armor style faction for the Griffins. It's basically all I've ever wanted from a new castle theme, unique heraldry, and really cool color schemes. Now, to bring us back to reality for a moment, I'd like to just remind everyone that it takes LEGO years to work on and develop new themes. So really, there's just no way of us knowing what they're working on for Castle fans. Now finally, the last avenue that I could see them taking for Castle is more one-off sets and minifigures. Just about every wave of LEGO Ideas submissions has at least a couple of medieval sets in them, and it's just a matter of time until one of those gets picked again. So other than LEGO Ideas, the next most likely one-off could come from the Creator 3-in-1 theme. We've already gotten some sets from them, like the medieval castle and the Viking boat. And I could totally see them doing another medieval adjacent set again. Also, now that the Wolfpack torso is available, they could totally do any Wolfpack set that they wanted without needing to create a new print. If they were to do this, I'd like to see them do maybe a $25 to $50 castle set. And finally, the last one-off that I could see LEGO doing is another Knight or faction remake in the 2025 CMF. We've been pretty consistently getting at least one medieval minifigure in every CMF for a while now, so I don't see a reason why the next regular CMF series wouldn't have one. My top picks for a new medieval style CMF would probably be a historical one, or maybe a faction remake of the Bull Knights. So that's pretty much all I've got for you today. I'm pretty excited to see what the future of LEGO Castle holds, and if you are too, go check out the video that I just made with BB202 on screen now. And as always, thank you so much for watching.